Hi, sweethearts. This is going to be a quickie because I have a beautiful client couple that's going to be joining me in just a few minutes. But I wanted to touch base from Spiritual Slut, from the Sorceress of Dating and Relating, from really looking at life and love as a spiritual practice. Like, what would life and love look like as a spiritual practice? And what is that sweet spot? What is that balance beam? What is that center that is between giving it all away and protecting it all? Like, what is that sweet spot? And we're going to look at that. And welcome LO and Abby and Keith. Welcome. So we're going to be looking at spiritual gymnastics on the balance beam of life. But as we do, let's take our 3 deep breaths and land in the sacred together. In the nose and out the mouth. In the nose and out the mouth. In the nose and out the mouth. So I'm going to invite us to try on together today, like a coach. I'm going to invite us to try on, what if life was winning at life was less about fuck and eat and buy and collect money, because all the things that we collect, we know we can't take them with us, and all the money in the bank, when we die, we don't get to take it with us. And even, all the acquisitions of experiences and people, I'm not sure we get to take those with us in essence either. But welcome Stacy, what if there was something that we could take with us? What if? Now, what if, just as a possibility, that the universe is E equals MC squared, which means energy in the universe is constant. Thank you, Einstein. And so let's imagine the energy of the universe is constant, and our soul has an energy, and that there's a potential, maybe because this soul is possibly reused again and again. Welcome, so Masjavin and Max. What if that was reusable? And what if we can actually take with us the evolution of our soul? Maybe. Let's think of it as a long-term investment. So when we're thinking about that, I invite us to look at that there are extremes in life. There's, you're a good person or you're a bad person. You're for me or you're against me. That there's this tendency towards like extreme thinking. And what I've been told by all my spiritual mentors is the spirit, the divine, is found in the both and. It's found in the combination. Another way that the Buddhists say that is non-duality. That duality thinking, it's good or it's bad, it's right or it's wrong. That duality thinking separates us and actually creates a suffering. That kind of thinking creates suffering. And that there is an opportunity to become and be love on earth. Now, I love that idea of being love, but how do we do that and be safe? Because I could be being love, but someone else might not be there with me yet. And someone else might be saying things that are very, blaming and shaming. Someone might be wanting to hit me, wanting to ghost me. People are peopling. So people are on their own pathway towards, I believe, towards love, towards wholeness, but we're at different places at different times. And sometimes we can expand beautifully. I feel love, I am love. And then the next day be, what did you say to me? Well, no, get out. Just get the fuck out. I mean, we can go back and forth. So maybe I'm love, but someone else is not love. How do I handle that without collapsing, without reacting? And I invite us to try on that there's something that I'm exploring called a mature-centered integrated adult. A mature-centered integrated adult. Let's try on that the markers of that are compassionate, collaborative, creative, responsive. And that when I'm coming from trauma, I'm actually, or my survival self, the parts of me that I developed to survive culture, to survive being raised in a dysfunctional environment or family, that the survival self is reactive, constrictive, black and white thinking, good, bad, right, wrong, protective, defensive, deflective. It's not me, it's you. It's not me, it's you. That those are all, I have to fight, flight, freeze, disassociation, and placation are all markers or signs of the survival self. And I'm going to invite that perhaps we want to spend more and more time in our adult self, our love self, our expanded self. But how do we do that and still be safe? Because other people aren't there. So I want to invite or allow that there is something called love and boundaries. And in most situations, there's going to be a sweet spot, a balance beam between two extremes. So anytime I think there's only one way to do this, it's my way or it's your way, I have to protect or defend against you, I'm in an extreme. And I want to look for the both and. And one of my mentors says, how would it sound or feel to speak a boundary from my heart, from our heart? So if I say, you don't get to treat me this way, and that's not okay, and I'm not going to put up with that, I'm in an extreme. Maybe if I'm coming from my heart, I would say, I love you, and I love me. And I want to invite that there's another way we could have this conversation. And if you can meet me there, I want to share that with you. And if for whatever reason you can't, I may need to take space because it's not healthy for us. It's not healthy for you or me to come from this place of defense or reactivity. And you're not bad or wrong. So I don't have to make you wrong to speak a boundary. And the same can be true about communication. We can over communicate. You have to hear how I'm feeling. You have to hear what I'm telling you. You have to. And we can mow someone down with communication. Or we can be so like, oh, I can't tell that. I can't tell that. They won't like me if I tell that. Oh, they can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth. And either extreme, it's an extreme. So I want to say, how can I speak my truth from a loving heart, even when it may be difficult for them to hear? How can I listen to what they're saying from a loving heart, even though what they're saying may be challenging for me to hear? So we want to keep coming down, and in the chakra system, the heart is the balance point. This is compassion, not romance. We want to literally kind of breathe in, and when we feel like even lust is an extreme, hate is an extreme, any intense emotion is an extreme, and emotions are meant to be the messenger, not the message. So communication can be an extreme, so must be. So we want to be able to make sure that we're listening, and we want to make sure that we're in quiet and silence as well as in communication. But we want to make sure we're not hiding or withholding or lying, because so there's a sweet spot. So with spiritual gymnastics on the balance beam of life is looking for, how do we stay in balance? How do we stay in the center balance beam? And we want to keep asking ourselves. Our lives are formed by the questions we ask. We want to keep asking ourselves, where is balance? Where is the both and? Where is having boundaries and having compassion? Where is being love and being safe? Where is communication and communion with spirit and others? Where is speaking and listening? Where is silence? So we want to always be looking, where is the center? Where is the balance beam? Am I on the balance beam or off the balance beam? And almost anything, any activity in life, sex, shopping, work, being drawn to someone, feeling a little, I don't know if I'm drawn to this person, all of that can be in balance or out of balance. And what I was saying, emotions are the messenger, not the message, is emotions are meant to come like anger. It's meant to come, and then I'm meant to say, what is the message for me? So anger maybe lets me know that I'm allowing a boundary to be crossed. As an adult, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times as an adult, I actually collude or collaborate in you crossing my boundaries by not feeling empowered to say no. And yeah, there have been many times that I perceived that you wouldn't like me if I said no. Maybe I'll lose my job if I said no. Maybe you'll break up with me if I said no. Maybe you're not going to pay for dinner if I said no. So because I perceive myself to be powerless, I actually collude in what's abusive to me. And this is one of my mantras. If I perceive that I'm powerless or trapped, I've actually been kidnapped by my child self. When I was actually powerless and trapped, I was a child. And in general, for most of us watching this, we are adults and we live in the kind of country where we might not want to leave that job, but we could. We might not want to leave that relationship, but we could. We might not want to end that friendship, but we could. We actually are free. So anytime we perceive that we're not free, that's an illusion. And my spiritual teachers tell me that fear is often false evidence appearing real. Like certainly if someone has a gun to our head, or, that there actually be circumstances that the lion is about to attack me and I should run. Yes. But many, many times as an adult, I'm literally acting like a lion is about to attack me. My whole body is just like shutting down or wanting to run. When the fact is you said something I didn't like. You called me a name. You said that you were going to do something that I didn't want you to do. And suddenly I'm completely trapped. So one of my mantras in my mind, honeys, in my mind, not in reality. So reality, the ultimate reality is that we are free. And we are always free in how we respond. I'm not always in charge of everything that comes toward me. So if you say something toward me, or if you do something toward me, I'm not always in charge of that. But as a spiritual adult, I am free for my responses. And if I forget that I'm free, if I'm forgetting and feeling trapped and powerless, I have forgotten the ultimate reality, which is that I am free. And my spiritual teachers tell me the ultimate reality is I am love. So when emotions come, depression, anger, I want to unpack the emotion and say, oh, anger is letting me know that I allowed a boundary to be crossed, or I'm overgiving. And maybe depression comes to let me know, let me unpack this. Oh, depression is letting me know that some parts of my life are working and some parts aren't. So today, let's take a breath to become gymnasts in life on the balance beam of oneness, of non-duality. Until next time.